Hey there, fellow archers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages. Episode 51, Fending Off Fangs with Arrows and Fire. Yeah, I think if I was to do a collaboration, well, I guess the problem is there are definitely some party games that would be fun for me to cover. Games that just aren't fun single player, like Warhammer Darktide or Sea of Thieves, or, you know, these games that are obviously multiplayer only sort of but the problem is most of the streamers that do those kind of games have a lot of rapport with other streamers so that they like riff off of one another, and it's makes for better content. And the problem that that should not be part of the farm. Shoot, I screwed this. Wait, what is going on here? Yeah, I screwed this farm up. The problem is if you don't have a rapport with them, collaborations will feel a little stifled and stale as a result of the fact that, you know, it's like you're just not, I don't know, friends or whatever. Right, it's the same concept of like, you know, if you watch Dungeons and Dragons content, if you have one person at the table who doesn't really cooperate with the others, it's very apparent very quickly. It's not to say that I'm like antisocial or anything like that, but my worry is that if I agreed to a collaboration with other content creators that I just didn't know very well, it wouldn't make for very good content, even though it would be a potentially good opportunity for a collaboration. So I guess my answer is I wouldn't really, if I could choose any content creator to collab with, I'm not even really sure I would, because I don't think it would work out very well. It might, like, if I pick someone huge, obviously it would be like a big opportunity to, like, you know, expand my audience, but like it wouldn't be the worry is I'd be bringing in viewers that aren't organic growth, and it's viewers that might not share the same sort of ideologies, and like they just might not mesh well with the rest of the group. I don't know. So, because I see that a lot. I've seen posts about like, oh, I had this like collaboration with this giant streamer and their community is showing up to my streams, but like no one gets along with them, and it's causing a lot of strife, and like that's not great. It's not great to sacrifice community cohesion for like a surge of artificial growth, something like that. I think you probably get what I mean, though. I'm not antisocial, but those other people are tricks. Yeah. Yeah, every now and then, I do find, you know, anyone that plays multiplayer games, I do find some of the players that I get matched with are just like, oh god, I can't stand you. And that happens occasionally. I am also going to double up my sewage, because this is getting blocked up often, and I have a lot of biosolids, so I think it would be wise to just increase the capacity of the septic drains. It's sad that in these consideration, people really can't behave. Well, it's not, I mean, it's not that I wouldn't, I'll put it this way. If you're another content creator, you have a massive audience, chances are that's public approval to some degree or another, and it's, you know, it's, so someone likes them, right? So I think on average, the average content creator that plays, like, let's say RimWorld, I probably would get along with. The average content creator that plays a toxic game, I might not, right? So if it's a content creator that, like, does gambling slots, yeah, I'm probably not going to see eye to eye with them, and I should definitely not collaborate. So it really depends on, like, who it is and why. But at the end of the day, I don't do a lot of collaborations because I don't I don't like talking over other people. I don't want to monopolize mic time. My sort of tutorial-esque type content doesn't work collaboratively all that well. Same with the storytelling. It would be very challenging to have two storytellers telling one story. That doesn't work very well unless you're like identical twins that finish each other's sentences. It's just like not something that will happen organically. It can happen, but it's more of a... So, yeah, to answer your question, because I've been spending a lot of time rambling about it, I would say I'm not really sure I would take collaboration opportunities unless it was really organic. So I wouldn't just like pick a big name and go, well, let's go for it. I would pick someone that I would like, I know and trust, and the project would be some sort of benefit to my community. Would a game like Gloomhaven work well for that? You know, it's interesting because I actually own the tabletop Gloomhaven. But what's funny about Gloomhaven, specifically to Gloomhaven, because for those that don't know, Gloomhaven is a game where you are, it's a tabletop like sort of role-playing game where you are sort of a mercenary, and you're not playing Gloomhaven the way you're supposed to play Gloomhaven. You're not actually supposed to collaborate with your allies in the party. You're supposed to be selfish and not coordinate your attacks and movements and all that. If you're a real Gloomhaven purist, that is. So it's funny that you mentioned Gloomhaven, because you're playing Gloomhaven correctly, the way the manual tells you to play, you're a jerk. And you're stealing gold from other players, and you're scooping up all the loot for yourself, and you are playing in your own playstyle. Which is funny, because I do find Gloomhaven to be a difficult enough game that if you don't cooperate with the other players, you actually lose pretty frequently. So it's like this push-pull of like, we need to cooperate only as... Oh, Jesus. We need to cooperate only as much as it like suits us. It's perfect for siblings. Yeah, I mean, more or less. Okay. So we have got Chimera coming. And I am preparing for the Chimera. So, sorry to my colonists, but yeah, you're not sleeping right now. It's also, now that it's like late in the autumn, I'm going to close this gate door and warm up this farm a little bit more. And I need to hurry. I didn't realize that this door wasn't open. So this door is open and we'll need to close, because that's a big threat. So who's closest to... You know what? I'll have an animal do that. Dom, you're closest, so go. Or Serenity, Serenity's pregnant. Dom, go up there, please. Dom, go. Go. There we go. Alright, so we need to prop this door open so that the Chimera are encouraged to attack here, and of course I'm going to be using fire. You didn't know animals could close doors? So as far as RimWorld is concerned, any colonist-owned pawn can close doors. What did I just make you do? Don't drop your bow. Could be animals, could be mechs, anything that your faction owns can close doors. See? Plop. I don't know why a door would make a plop noise, but whatever. Alright, Avalka, you shouldn't be on guns. So Avalka and McGee are trigger happy. I'm gonna have them choke up a little bit. I'm gonna have my knights with shields be in the front. So what I'm hoping to do is to land a lot of arrows on the targets. And then hide inside. Chimera are not to be trifled with, so we need to wound them. Oh, medic. Sorry about that. So yeah, I've done a lot of collaboration with like Zero Day, playing Escape from Tarkov years ago, and other collaborations. So I probably collaborated with Zero Day the most, because we played, I don't know, like 1,000 hours of Tarkov, maybe more. And then a not insignificant amount of time collaborating with Trustman as well. But ultimately, those collaboration projects really never like bore fruit. I had fun with them, but like it wasn't the direction that, you know, most of my viewers wanted me to take the channel. It just, collaborations kind of didn't work for my content. Came to that realization. Come on, Chimera. I'm like all ready. All right, Mike, go take a break. Why'd you just... There's nowhere to store the corn. Oh, Alright, 1 second. I only just realized I have this problem. We might want to make kibble, which is like shelf stable food, or stable-ish food. We also have the ability to make raw, sausages. I haven't made those yet. I really ought to. But what I'm doing here is making kitchen overflow floor. It's like we have nowhere to store the corn. My god, Chimera, what the hell? I'm like... This is a bad idea, but... There we go. Got tired of waiting for them. She's a jogger. Whoa, you really hit that one hard. So this one is moving because I pissed it off at 5-5. She moves at 5, so we'll catch her, but she'll probably be... She could also flare, so she's a jogger that has flare, so I was like a little less worried about her. Our first one's dead. You can see the others coming in. Haha! So the flare stuns, pretty nice. Alright, Sean, close that. Everyone's dismissed. I'm going to forbid the doors just in case, but they shouldn't be able to go out there because it's not part of the allowable zone. And now, with any luck, most of the Chimera are getting burnt up. And then once we get a little bit of R&R, because everyone in the colony are like kind of not happy with the amount of work they just had to do, I'll go back out there with a hunting squad in a different direction and start to clean out the Chimera. I'm also starting to get enough bioferrite for yet another proximity detector. And we'll hook up proximity detectors in all 3 bridge directions eventually. Oh wow, they came here too. So popping open a random door might not be 100% safe. Copy that. Once everyone's awake and has eaten and stuff, I'll try to counter hunt. They're attacking again. I'm gonna guess a lot of them are very wounded from the fire. You know, I even see blood out here. I'm assuming those are like just bloody burns. And I'm starting to get the slept in the cold debuff, so let's refuel. Check the fertility since it hasn't, rain hasn't kicked up again. So the fertility here, what I'm doing is I'm covering up with the stony soil because I know stony soil has poor fertility. So the green is where I fertilized, the dark green is the fertile soil naturally. And then the yellow is like not very fertile because I haven't fertilized it. So like I haven't finished fertilizing this area, for instance. I wanted to counter hunt the Chimera tonight, but it's already dark out, and hunting Chimera at night is a bad idea. We also have a ritual opportunity pretty soon, and a conversion ritual opportunity as well. Eager to take advantage of both. Alright, so the Chimera are withdrawing, and maybe in the morning during sunup hours, I'll try to go out and clear out the rest, because I don't want to be like stuck here forever. The other thing I might consider is moving these entities. Actually, I'm not going to transfer them just yet. I'm going to want to build bioharvesters and shard inhibitors, and then maybe put the tough spikes together, because if two tough spikes try to like escape, big deal, we'll kill them. Two tough spikes ain't really difficult for us to deal with. Alright, I am transferring the tough spikes. The other thing we're going to need is lights. And this is so that, and I'm doing this, actually, let's not do that yet. I'm doing this so that it's hypothetically possible to capture Chimera if Chimera are capturable. Yeah, the escape interval for this tough spike really hasn't functionally changed. It went from 30 years to 30 years despite being contained with others. Not a problem. I am going to try sallying out. It's a little sketchy because the Chimera could be waiting on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like totally be ready for a big old fight if that is indeed the case. Because normally in portcullis gates you'd be able to see through them, but like not in RimWorld, so. Oh, well, alright, we already walked through them. Apparently, it's safe, because Mike decided to open that door. Okay, I don't see anything coming up the way. So let's try a different direction. I'm gonna go out this gate. Also, should fix this, like, silly roof zone. Pretty soon, all of this is going to need to be roofed up anyway, for frost reasons. Alright, Klein. Yeah, we have Chimera danger close. But we're going to try to hold our ground and clear the mouth. Mike, you stay here because I see 3 in the north. Alright, yeah, we're definitely getting rushed. I'm gonna set my mailers to go back inside. We're gonna actively hunt the range. They just temporarily withdrew, which allows me to whittle down their numbers. And then I also have to be cautious of them, oh, you know what? I need sight. So I can't see. Why are these clogged? Did my plumbing get messed up? No. These just got clogged? Fine. I'm gonna have one of the brawlers stand here to make sure that I'm not getting ambushed from behind. Now the problem is, the Chimera don't feel pain when they are enraged, which means they won't, like, collapse under normal circumstances. So it's very hard to capture them unless you bleed them a little bit and then, like, wait for the blood loss to knock them unconscious. Because they aren't going to collapse via pain under normal circumstances. So there might be some uncaptured Chimera out there, but without Fog of War, I mean, because of Fog of War, I don't know where they are. But we are definitely whittling down their numbers with this withdrawal advantage. There can't be too many left. Music says I'm done, but I kind of doubt it. Don't trust the music. So I got a pink rather than red. Oh god. See? Yep. Oh shoot. Shoot. Don't trust the music. Alright, deploy flare. See, outsmarting you. Hey McGee, I hope you are bite-proof. Major Mildew's like, I don't like this. Okay, we're good. Alright, this one is down but not dead because of blood loss, so capture. Capture destination is going to be there. And then I will have the brawlers travel around with the ranged to make sure that we are secure around our base. Because I ain't got the line of sight to check unless we do the marchings. Cyber Eye just gave birth. Alright, we're going to have another giveaway. That's a porcupine if you're wondering. So if you want to be a porky, speak up. We have 2 porkies. Female, female. And this entity is going to be studied. Yes. I know it's a really long day for my survivors here. My hunters and... Well, I don't care. We need to know that we're safe before we lift the lockdown. Alright. I did a lap. I think we're good. I hope. And then the last stage of this is resetting. But I must say that fire traps have been delightful. So we're still working on the southern bridge. I would say the groundwork for it is about a little over 50% done. And then we also want to improve the entity detection. And then on top of that, I actually don't think there's really much for me to do about entity containment. We've contained the entities. So the double strand farm is 162 and all regular soil. Oh no, that's not true. There's one more stony soil left. Cover that up. So you can see the difference. And I'm just not bothering to try to sow crops on stony soil. It's just not worth it. Grow time is too slow. Basically, if the fertility is so low that the plants barely grow, it's gonna like rot. So there's virtually no point. I think the door in the southeast is still open. You'd be right. I'll Vavak close it. So the cotton here will be harvestable pretty soon. Obviously, we're not going to resow it. I would say at this point, nothing should be resown as it's almost winter. And as soon as it starts dropping below freezing, we're going to want to roof up the double strand farm so it doesn't die from frost. But the this farm is staying warm enough. We might need a extra fire source in there. It's possible it's required. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Nine days? Oh, add more fire to that. And 30 days. That's going to be too long, but oh well. Alright, porcupines. We've got Steph. And we've got Vita Mortis. Vita Mortis, you're a porcupine again. Let's hope you meet a friendlier end than last time. So I'll probably end up cutting away some of this grazing area for the ducks. Because the entryway, we're going to want like a walkway down there to build our gate here. So in terms of gates, much the way we have like a bottleneck, we'll do the bottleneck there. You know what? Change my mind a little bit. Let's pull this back one. We'll have them bottleneck in. And how big did I make these? Six by 8. They're kind of off center. But, yeah, whatever. I don't care. So, 6 by 8 works again. And then we'll have a grand gate at the back. And then, once we've got more of the bridge built, the whole bridge section. Then for this, half wood, half chem drench. And then back here, we'll connect to the rest of the castle. Oh, you know, except for where the actual turrets are going to be placed. Because, of course, we need the guns. So maybe what I'll do is I'll nudge this over left one. Because it will be easier to put the guns there than there. I don't want to, I don't want to have to break down the guest quarters. Because I can put guns here. Should have thought of that beforehand, but oh well. Because now it's not, like, lined up. Not a big deal. Yeah. If I could go back in time, I would have put the bridge more like this, I guess. Oh, boy. Punching each other out. Speaking of social fights, we are just a few hours away from another conversion ritual. And if it is masterful, Mike will convert. That is the hope. Ooh, there we go. That's going to be lots of cloth. We also have, well, I'm going to have you do it. We have a massive amount of beer ready to go, just no one was dealing with it. That's awesome. One thing I have realized, and I'll have to keep an eye on, is our animals are not zone restricted away from the tea and beer. Which means that there's a non-zero chance that they get... Oh, yeah, okay. Sin and Jin drank a healing draft. I guess it can provide sustenance? I don't see that it has a nutritional value. I'm gonna have to make a new zone. Dogs free roam. So the dogs free roam should not be allowed in the lab. And not be allowed around there, where the drugs are. And not be allowed in our stockpile. Because there's medicine in the stockpile too. And maybe not be allowed to eat the eggs in there. Invert. There. I'm not entirely sure why the dogs were like had consumed drugs, but they obviously had, so I'm gonna need to accommodate that. I might actually want, just for my benefit, put all of my drugs in one room, because not having the dogs access to the stockpile is a bit annoying, if you ask me, because that means that I'm limiting what they're allowed to haul. So having like a drug medicine area would be smart. So perhaps after the bridge project, I'll consider that. Oh, is this a siege? No, it is not. They are asking for our assistance. Merchant company. Nah. Not of my concern. Alright, it is time to roof this bad boy up. We're finally getting into the frostbite temps. It's 0 out, so it's freezing. But inside this farm, it is about 16, which is totally fine for growing. Which is fantastic. So as you can see, the rest of the growth rate outside is like horrible because it's too cold. So in other words, our plan worked, and we have a year-round farm with chocolate and glowstool. Now the Devil Strand is roofed up and to be protected until outdoor temps have been raised up again. Matt, thank you for the sub. Work rotted away. That's unfortunate. Alright, the conversion ritual. Let's do it. Before I trigger that, I know the plants in here, like, it's probably getting too... Actually, it's oddly warm in there. Well, it's because it's midday. So here we go. I have an 18% chance for this to work. Don't hold your breaths, guys. It's probably going to be disappointing. Oh. Great! We finally get together and, malaria. Social distancing. Fail. So, Valka bed rest, Lil in bed rest, which is unfortunate because she's one of our best doctors, and then, I'm gonna set doctoring to 2 so she doesn't get up. Terrible conversion. Okay. Cool. I don't even know. So let's go ahead and take immunization drafts. So Valka just took one. Lil's gonna take one. Sean's gonna take one. And then on top of that, we'll do a preach health. With Ginger. No, because we just did the conversion ritual. Never mind. Alright, that's fine. Klein. Get tending. And we should recover pretty quickly as a result of those drafts, because those drafts give immunity gain 35% bonus. And it's particularly important for Lillian, as she does only have one kidney. So her blood filtering is not great. All right, for the close zone here, I'm going to include the bridges close so that our brawlers can assist in building the bridge. And one of these guests, two of these guests actually have some friends. So I guess the threshold is plus 40. I've never bothered to like look at that. Let's look at Aubrey. Yeah, 40 seems to be the threshold. Good to know. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Dread Knights.